guys, Julia here from JM Squared Vintage. Welcome back to the channel. I am here today with a bins haul. How was your holiday weekend? I hope it was great. I hope you got to celebrate with some family or some friends that feel like family. I hope you had a good time no matter what you did. I'm gonna call today a relatively light bins haul because I'm still playing catch up after my mom and my absolutely massive bins haul that we've had. If you haven't seen that one yet, I had to split it up into 2 different episodes. I will have those linked down below. If you haven't seen those yet, be sure to go check those out after you watch this. But I've got about 30 pieces, so it's not really light. I just had to give myself a time limit in the bins because I knew I was still working on processing all the stuff that I got with my mom. But we got 30 great pieces, some really good BOLO brands, some really interesting pieces that I cannot wait to share with you. Some really cool vintage pieces, just I can't wait to dig in. But before we get started here, if this is the first time we're meeting, first and foremost, welcome. I am Julia. We talk all things thrifting and vintage and reselling on the internet here. If that sounds like something that you might be into, consider hitting subscribe down below. I would love to have you along on this journey. But without further ado, guys, I got lots of stuff to show you, lots of great stuff to talk about. So go grab yourself a snack, get a little sustenance, grab yourself a drink. You know I've got my matcha latte. Sit back, relax, and let's get into the goods. So we're gonna get started with some non-clothing pieces. I got a couple pairs of shoes. I do not do shoes all that often unless there's something there that I know will move really quickly. And the first thing I got, and I know, guys, I know it's July. I know it's July. But when you see Sorels in the bins for $1, you buy the Sorels. You buy the Sorels because they're probably about $180 retail. This is, I believe, what they call the Cheyenne boot. This is a men's boot. This would be kind of like a competitor to the LL Bean, the Bean boot. They're just like a little bit slimmer line. They're definitely of the waterproof line. If you are ever buying Sorels, just because they have that great fashion line now, not all of the shoes are waterproof. That was kind of a misconception at one point that like all Sorels were 100% waterproof. If you go on the website and you look at each individual shoe, or you look at the shoe that you're considering buying, it will tell you that it's waterproof, like very obviously. These are some of their waterproof boots. These are kind of great boots for like the everyday wear. I mean, they have the Caribou boots, which are ultra warm. Caribou boots have like a separate liner. The Joan of the Arctic boots for women has the same kind of like heavy duty liner. But if you're not in a place where you really need that heavy duty liner, something like this is a great snow boot. You know, it's waterproof, it's a little bit slimmer line. These are in great condition. It's a men's size 8, and I reckon I'll probably see somewhere between $40 and $100 on these, depending on the season, depending on a couple different things. I've sold a bunch of Sorels. They always sell really quick for me. They always sell for a really good profit. Definitely a brand to be on the lookout for. Obviously it's July, so they might sit around for a minute, but you do not find Sorels in this condition in the thrift that often, let alone in the bins. So great way to start. And I got another pair of shoes here, and this was a brand I've never seen in the thrift or the bins. These are a pair of shoes from a brand called Gola, and that's kind of the outer markings. My big thing that drew me to these is a gum sole. I am a sucker for a gum sole on a sneaker, always have been. Gola is a UK-based company. They've been around forever. Like, I want to say that they were like turn of the century, like last turn of the century, not this past turn of the century. They've been around for a very long time. They make these kind of like heritage styles. This, I believe, is like the tennis style. And they're kind of having a moment in like the casual canvas shoe world. They're a little bit more unique than like a Chuck Taylor. So these are an interesting pair. I had trouble finding this, which tells me that this was probably like a collab that they did with like Madewell or something like this. But I'll probably see somewhere between $30 and $40 on these. Golas are kind of an it girl shoe, so super happy to find these in the bins. They're in pretty great condition. I'll clean them up a little bit more, but not a ton of wear to the soles, you know, a little bit of scuffing along the side, but that can easily be taken care of. Like, these look like they've probably been worn 4 or 5 times maybe. Tons of wear left in them. And now onto the clothing, etc. The first thing I grabbed here was this little swimsuit. So Tier, if you swim at all or you have kids that swim, chances are you know what Tier is. Tier is a good competitive swimsuit brand. They do everything from like a swim club swim team with like a regular kind of racer back, or all the way up to like speed suits, the likes of which you see on like Olympic swimmers. So this was interesting to me because of that zipper back. So the first thought to me was that this was somewhere in between those like swim club competition suits and the speed suits, because I knew that they had these kind of high back things. But what this turns out to be is a water polo suit. And again, pretty expensive. They retail probably around $100. And once you get fit for something like this, you kind of know what size you are. This is a black suit, so it's something that like everybody could grab for practice. It's in great shape. You know, typically I always say with swimsuits, check the seat, because especially if these are like sporting suits, you'll see a lot of people sit on like the side of the pool. They'll sit on the edge of the pool on that concrete and it'll pick up the bottom. So I always say if you're buying swimsuits, check the seat. But this is in pretty great condition. I'm not sure what the size is. I'm sure it's inside here somewhere, but this was kind of a good find. I'm interested to see what I get for it. It is, you know, like a specialized use swimsuit. So maybe 25 to 30 bucks. I'm interested to see how it does. It was just definitely something that I picked up because it was unusual and looked kind of purpose-built. And I know that Tier is a very good brand. Next up here, we've got this gorgeous J. Jill linen blend black cardigan sweater. This is a size large. Yeah, it's linen rayon blend. So it's got the hand of linen, but the drape of rayon, which is like a dream. That rayon in the blend gets rid of the stiffness that linen can sometimes have. Anyway, this is in great condition, a great closet staple, a great basic. This will probably go somewhere 25 to 32. These are the kind of things that I will pick up all the time from J. Jill because they're always in style. People love them and they retail for like $118. So people are always happy to get a bargain on like a closet staple of this caliber. Next up, this is a pair of pants from Sol Angeles. Sol Angeles is a pretty high-end brand. They're sold at Saks Fifth Avenue. You find them at Kitson. These, I believe, are men's pants. They're pull-on. They almost have the feel of like a heavier weight scrub. They have this like elasticized band. I mean, for all I know, they might even make scrubs. If they do and you know, let me know down below. But this is a straight leg pant. It's a black, it's size medium. These feel like brand new condition. They've got like reinforced, no, they're not really reinforced. They have pieced knees and then they have patch pockets in the back here. Sol Angeles is just one of those brands that I like to get. It's very expensive. People really like it. It's very much like a California casual brand. So this is probably just a pair of easy pants that you could throw on with a t-shirt and call it a day. Almost like a jogger alternative. I'll probably see, I'm not quite sure on those, I'll probably see like 30, 35. They probably retailed like $180 or so dollars. Next up here, oh, 'tis the season. This is a super lightweight, kind of high like halter neck. It's got a little bit of a keyhole here. Nice lightweight slub cotton side pockets. This is from Velvet by Graham & Spencer. Another very expensive brand. They used to be sold at Anthropologie. They might still be sold at Anthropologie. I'm pretty sure that they're also sold at like Nordstrom and Saks. You know, they always have really beautiful textiles. This is a maxi length dress. It's very much a trapeze dress, so easy breezy, like as light as a feather. And it is a size medium, which is, I feel like I always find Velvet stuff in size small. So this is an exciting find. Sold comps on this were in the $40 to $50 range. That could be a seasonal thing, so I'll try to expedite this and get it live sooner than later, but it is a beautiful dress. And again, probably retailed $250, $300. Velvet's very expensive. Super cute. You can adjust this to be like as tight to your neck or as loose from your neck as you want it to be. Next up, I feel like I was hitting all of the great summer brands here. This is a cute pair of double gauze wide leg crop pants, and look at the hem on this. This is a little wrinkly, but it's got this kind of curved hem where it like takes up the outside of the leg, and double gauze is just like the fabric of summer. So this is from Marine Layer, another brand that is definitely one to be on the lookout for. Their whole thing is that they make clothes that are as soft as can be. Like that is their shtick, the softness of their clothes. And I've got actually a dress made of their double gauze, and I will wear that dress until it has holes on it. I've had it for like 3 or 4 years. I wear it at least 2 times a week. in the summer. But this has little side pockets. This is a size extra small, so it will take a little bit longer, but again, this is something that somebody will throw on like over a bathing suit. It's got that nice like wide smocked waistband. Just something easy to throw on in the summer in this pretty like light sage color. I'll probably see again 30 to 40 on these. Marine Layer does have some really good sold comp prices, so it's a brand to be on the lookout for sure. Ooh, yes. Okay, so this is something to talk about. So this is just a t-shirt, and it is from a brand. So this is from Ralph Lauren, but it is from one of Ralph Lauren's defunct brands called Denim & Supply. Now, in terms of Ralph Lauren, we're going to be talking about Ralph Lauren a little bit more later, so spoilers. But in terms of like desirability of Ralph Lauren pieces, this, because it is defunct, it had that kind of vintage motorcycle feel to it, right? Like everything felt really like worn in. It felt like it was kind of older workwear. That was kind of the vibe. People love it. I have never had a piece that has sat for a long time. They all sell for a great price. It's not quite double RL, which is kind of like more ranch wear inspired. Think more like old motorcycle shop. This is obviously a play on the Indian Motorcycles logo, but it does say Denim & Supply. This is the logo you're looking for. Again, your mileage may vary, but everything I have ever had from Denim & Supply has sold super quickly. Men's a little bit faster than women's, but women's go pretty dang quick as well. So definitely, especially if you're picking it up at that cheaper like bins price, $1, $2, $3, grab it. See how it does for you, and if it goes like it goes for me, keep your eyes out for it. Put it on the always buy list. So interested to see. I've never had just a t-shirt before, so interested to see how this does, but if it's like anything else I've ever had from them, it'll go quick. It is a size large and it is in great shape. So always excited to see that logo, especially in the bins. Next up, now this was a new brand for me. I grabbed this because it was just like beautifully made. This is 100% silk. It's very much vintage camisole style. It's in great shape, and the brand is Mary Jo Bruno. Let me know if any of you are familiar with that brand. I had never seen it before, I had never heard of it before, but this has that very like pre-1920s style. And it is, again, in fantastic condition. It looks like they were sold at Neiman Marcus, which absolutely tracks for the quality of this piece. Like literally the construction is so nice. So interested to see how I do on this. I have no clue what I'll get for this. Maybe $35 to $45. I'll have to do a little bit more research on the brand, but this is one of those ones that I didn't comp in store. I'm like, this is beautiful quality silk. All the construction is stunning. So I knew it was something. So definitely, I think a brand to be on the lookout for. Let me know if you are familiar with it. Let me know if you have found some, how it sold through for you. Let us all know. The more we all know, the better we can all do. Beautiful. Next up here, this is a little piece I got for myself, just kind of an around the house shirt. This is again from Sol Angeles. I love their t-shirts. It's a size medium, little V-neck. It's got a little beach scene on it. This, I mean, I kid you not, probably retailed for like $70 or $80. Like Sol Angeles is so expensive, but again, just something I grabbed to kind of wear around the house, wear while I'm doing chores. It is, you know, it's got what looks like a little flaw on it. I think that is actually this dye though. It's the same exact color, but either way, just I love grabbing pieces like this just for kind of around the house shirt. But yeah, you can just never have too many like good quality, comfy chore shirts. So I will pick those up from great brands anytime I see them. Next up, okay, this was such an interesting find. So I felt this fabric in the bins. I felt it and I was like, oh, what is that made of? It feels, this is like a chino material, but I have never felt a chino so smooth. This feels like, I don't know how to explain it. This feels like a silk cotton. It's not. It's just really high grade cotton. So the maker on these, the designer on these is Takeshi Kurosawa. I had never heard of this designer before, but again, all the hallmarks were there of like extreme quality. First and foremost, they're made in Italy, which I'm sure we have all talked about this before, but in the grand scheme of manufacturing locales, Italy is maybe one of the least inexpensive places to manufacture things. France and Italy, they're very, very expensive. but they hold their standards of quality so high, and that's why high-end designers design there. So Takeshi Kurosawa is an Italian-based designer, despite the fact that he has a Japanese name, and these are a pair of pants from him. So they are a size 38 and in pretty great condition. They're just like a kind of like an olive drab blue. They've got welted pockets. They've got side slash pockets, zip closure, and then, you know, little button closure here. Retail, these go for like $400 to $500. So I'm not quite sure what I'll see on retail. There's not a lot out there, but maybe like 50 to 100. It does look like he's most well known for his denim pieces. He does do denim that is made in Kojima, which is like the birthplace of Japanese denim. If you're ever looking for some raw selvage denim, or some Japanese denim, you want to make sure that you're seeing that like made in Kojima, because that is where the best denim textiles in the world come from. So very interesting find. Definitely a new designer to keep on our radars. Again, I love it when I find these pieces by feel. Like, I had no idea who the designer was, but this fabric, I wish you could feel it. I wish you could reach your hands through the screen and feel what this feels like, because it is like the dreamiest chino. Very cool find. Let me know, have any of you ever found a piece by him before? Let me know, like, what did you get it for? How much did you sell it for? How fast did it go? I'm very interested, again, especially on these brands that I've never heard of before. I love hearing from you what you have and have not found and how you did with it. Next up, another thing that I found by feel. This is just a simple little like taupe t-shirt, but I saw this label, IRO Paris, and of course the way it felt, I'm like, this is very nice jersey. Sure enough, IRO or Iro, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, ultra high-end designer. These shirts retail for like $155, and this is in fantastic condition. It is a size small, again, perfect condition, doesn't appear to have been worn much. I'll probably see somewhere between 30 and 45 on this. That seems to be about what those sold comps are going for. Again, let me know if you have found this brand before. There's so many new BOLO brands for me this week, and I love being able to share them with you. There's so many, I love finding new BOLO brands, and I feel like there are so many this week. So let me know. Let me know if you've ever found it before, if you've heard of it. Let me know what you know. So cool. All right, next up here, this is a funky little vintage piece. This is a cardigan from Gotex. Look at that tag. No, I mean, this has to be 70s, but it is like this sheer striped, kind of like low button down, blousey cardigan. I'm so interested to get this on the mannequin and like take some pictures of it. It was just too funky for me to leave behind. So not a clue what I'll get for it, maybe like $30, but isn't that funky? I mean, it's gotta be late 70s, early 80s, just going by the silhouette of this. So fun, and it's in perfect condition. Like, there's no rips, no snags, no little holes along the seams. It's well made. I think Gotex was a department store brand. I don't think it was particularly high end, but I just thought this was so fun, so I had to do it. Next up here, now guys, I know, it's July. This is vintage and in like pretty great condition. So this is a jacket. I feel like there was something in here. Yeah, there's a little bit of tearing in the lining, but like not much. Other than that, this is in like perfect condition. This is definitely a 70s little overcoat in this brown and navy check pattern. I feel like there's a name for this plaid. I should know that, but I don't off the top of my head. I think this is a size medium. There's no tag on the inside other than one that says professionally dry clean only, but I do think this is a size smaller, size medium, women's, and it's got this attached belt. Isn't this so cute? Like I said, there's like a little bit of ripping in the lining here, but that is it. Other than that, this is in fantastic condition. I'm not quite sure, maybe somewhere between $50 and $70 is about what I see on stuff like this. And I know it is July. I've bought like 2 jackets in the last 2 weeks. I shouldn't be doing this, but the vintage lover in me is like, it's not allowed. It's like against the rules to leave something like this behind. Next up here, I've got this cute little boho top. This is from Lucky Brand. This is a size large. It's white, it's short sleeve. It's got this cute like textured jersey to it, this pretty crochet lace. A little bit of a drop hem there in the back. It's button front. I'll get like $20 to $25 on this. These kind of boho shirts from Lucky Brand do sell really well with me. I will say that I try to source them only in a size large and higher. If you can get the 1X, the 2X, for sure pick them up. They'll go very, very quickly. They are just kind of hard to find. So I think that there's just not many available and a lot of people who want to buy them. So do be sure to pick those up if you see them. Always check it out. Even if you don't normally pick up Lucky Brand, I know that Lucky usually doesn't fit into everybody's profit margin, but if you find those larger sizes, they will at the very least be quickly in and out of your closet. Next up, another fabulous little vintage piece. This is a velvet mini dress. Yeah, all it says is lot 910. There's no designer name. It is fully lined. The front is boned, like there's boning in the bust here. This needs to be like cleaned and steamed pretty badly. It's very wrinkled, but I'm gonna say that this is probably from the 80s, maybe the 70s. It is mini length. It's got a slit up the back. It's in pretty great condition. If I can get it back to perfect, I'll probably see like $40 to $50 on it. If it's a little bit flawed, I might see more like $20 on it, but either way, it is a vintage velvet black mini dress. I'm pretty much gonna pick that up anytime I see it at $1. So very cool. Oh, okay, so this is from a brand called Sweaty Betty, and I'm interested to hear how many of you have found this and sold this. How many people is this on your radar? Sweaty Betty is a UK-based, kind of like a competitor to Lululemon, and then this is their little logo here. That's usually how you can find it. That's like what they use instead of the horseshoe from Lululemon. They're pretty expensive. Again, those prices are very similar to Lululemon, but this is just a little like mesh sleeve. That's almost like an athletic mesh, like something a penny used to be made out of. Do you remember pennies? Remember when pennies had a fashion moment like 5 or 6 years ago? It was super strange. A slub cotton here, long sleeve. I'll probably see like $20, $25 on this, but the leggings do go really well for me. And I'll tell you that their swimwear also does exceptionally well for me. I've only found it 2 or 3 times. Both times they've sold same day for like $40, $50. So definitely keep your eyes out and let me know your experience if you have ever like had this brand, you like this brand, you found this brand. I'm interested to hear what you all have to say about it. But this is a size medium in great condition. So always an exciting find to find because it's not a super common brand in the States. It's huge all over the UK, but in the States you don't see it all that much. This is a faux shearling jacket from Dylan, which I love to find. Dylan is again owned by True Grit. Very expensive brand. They make really high quality basics. This is a nice faux shearling. It's kind of like a bone color on the outside and then the inner lining, I'm sweating just holding this. The inner lining is like a gray with a white tip on it. I want to say this probably retails like $250, maybe a little bit higher, like just a regular button down like flannel shirt from Dylan retails like $125, $135. So it's an expensive brand and people do love it. I've actually never had a piece of Dylan that has sat in my closet for more than like a month. This might be an exception seeing as that we're in the dead of July and this is a faux shearling jacket, but again, you just don't leave this behind when you find it. I'm gonna have to figure out a place specifically to keep jackets in the summer because I'm just finding really good pieces. Isn't that great? I don't know, I'll probably see like $40, $50 on this. If that sells before fall hits, I'll be jumping for joy. But next up is this tie-dye jumpsuit from Cloth and Stone. Cloth and Stone is an Anthropologie brand. They sell really well for me. I know that there's been other resellers who have said that they don't sell well for them, but for me, they do move quite well. I in particularly really like their like denim tencel dresses. They sell really quick for me. High neck. The back has a little bit of a keyhole, sleeveless with a drawstring waist. Of course, needs a bath and a steam. Get this all nice looking. I really struggle to take pictures of jumpsuits. I don't have a slant board. I don't have the room for a slant board. But yeah, so I'll probably see like 30 to 35 on this. Their tencel dresses usually go in that range for me, so I would imagine probably about the same. These are a little bit more of a specific style than like a plain blue denim tencel dress, so a little bit more of a limited buyer pool. I like that color. Oh yes, next up. Okay, so this is a new BOLO brand for sure. I picked this up, so this is a swimsuit, and I've got to say, I have held a lot of swimsuits. I have held a lot of expensive swimsuits. I have never held a swimsuit that feels nicer than this one. First of all, Isn't it gorgeous? This is a size 2XL. These are full on like molded cups, like really like rigid, good support. This is an off the shoulder little flounce here. The back comes to a metal I mean, like the quality on this is unbelievable. The designer, this isn't even a brand, the designer is Andrea Iyama. Let me show you that tag. Guys, keep your eyes out. Unbelievable quality. This is, I want to say that her swimsuits retail like close to $300. Doesn't feel like, I mean, you know, like sometimes you pick up a swimsuit and like it just feels like that wire is going to pop through whatever's in the back. Like this feels so solid and it looks beautifully cut. Feels substantial. It like the seams feel great. I could go on for hours. I was floored when I picked this up. I've never heard of this designer before. I want to say when I looked her up, I think she's Nigerian. I am absolutely obsessed with this. I cannot wait to keep my eyes out for more of her pieces because, oh, gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. On the resale market, it looks like they go in that $75 range, but the style is beautiful as well. Like this is a 2XL. Like people aren't making sexy bathing suits for a size 2XL all that often. And like, I would like to find one in my size, thrifting gods. Next up here, oh, that's right. We've got this pair of pull-on pants from Everlane. Everlane's one of those brands I love to find. They make really high quality basics. People know them, people love them. They search them out by name. I think this is called the Easy Pant. It's a size small. It's like rigid black cotton, almost like a chino cotton, side pockets, the rear patch pockets, elastic waist, in great condition with a nice wide leg. I like these tall hems because they kind of do the same thing that a horsehair liner does. They give it that body at the bottom so it stays nice and wide. I'll probably see like 30 to 40 on these. That's about what I see on Everlane pants. Definitely a BOLO brand for me. I'm always gonna pick them up when I see them. People love them, people search for them, and they're very classic. It doesn't matter if you're finding a piece that's 10 years old or 2 months old, they're still gonna be in style and people are still gonna be seeking them out. Great find. Always keep your eyes out for Everlane. Oh yes. Okay, so this is a little shirt from We The Free. This is not gonna show well holding it up. This is definitely something that is kind of a dolman silhouette where it goes a little bit wider up at the top, so it's made to be draped on the body. But this feels like brand new. And this is like a rough cotton rib jersey. Let me see if I can get you up close on that texture. It feels so nice. It feels like it's got a little bit more substance to it, but it's still quite lightweight. Has kind of like a funnel neck. Again, this is not showing well on here. It'll look a lot better. I'm probably gonna have to photograph this on the mannequin. Nice big wide sleeves. It is from We The Free, which I love. This is a size extra small, so that'll give you an idea. This is definitely gonna be very oversized up at the top, very oversized sleeves, and then it kind of gets a little bit narrower here at the waist, so you can kind of imagine that silhouette. But I'll probably see somewhere 25 to 32 on this. These kind of pieces from We The Free do sell. Wait quickly for me. You have heard me talk about that ad nauseum. I will never stop. All right, next up. Remember when I told you that we would be talking about Ralph Lauren again? So this is, like, again, something that I found when I, like, touched it. This is so soft. This is almost like a little Pontel knit jersey. It is butter soft cotton modal. So this is Ralph Lauren Blue Label. There's a lot of documentation on Ralph Lauren Black Label, Purple Label, Collection, Polo, Lauren, Ralph Lauren, Double RL, Denim and Supply. But the Blue Label is somewhere in there that's not necessarily like documented, at least anywhere that I could find. I think it's just like the Ralph Lauren, you know, kind of standard high-end department store label. From what I've found, it looks like this retailed north of $100 somewhere. This is a size medium. It's in pretty great condition, just a basic little Henley tee. I'm interested to see how this goes. Let me know if you have ever found this kind of Blue Label. My first thought was, oh, maybe it's like Polo, but usually the Polo labels say like Polo Ralph Lauren. So I'm interested to see how this does. It looks like there's a lot of sold comps, not of this exact shirt, but kind of similar basics from this that go 30 to 40. So I'm hoping that's about what we'll see, but let me know down below your experience with this label, if you've ever seen it, if you've ever had it, what it sold for, etc. But either way, I mean, quality wise, this is gorgeous. Even if I get $15 to $20, I'll be super stoked to get this into somebody's house because it is too nice to be in the thrift store shuffle. Very cool little find. I'm so interested to learn a little bit more about that label. Next up, ooh, okay. So this is a dress from a brand called Voodoo Vixen. Looks like it's probably new without tags. It's this pretty peach boat neck retro style dress. These, if you know me at all, are my favorite kind of dresses to find. They sell really well. This falls into that ModCloth, collective, unique vintage world. This is made to look vintage, but it is made modern with a little bit of a stretch fabric, so it'll be comfortable. Zip back. This is a size large with a little bit of a flare at the bottom. This is kind of like a trumpet skirt. And look at that little detail. Those contrast buttons and that little front kick pleat, absolutely adorable. It looks like it might have had a belt with it, but I didn't see it in the bin. But also, I don't think that's a big deal. People will often put their own belts on stuff like this. I will probably see, I'm not quite sure how much Voodoo Vixen sells for retail, but if it goes around the similar price point of the ModCloth pieces and unique vintage and collective pieces, I'll probably see somewhere $40 to $50 on this. It's otherwise in excellent condition and it is so cute. I absolutely love finding pieces like this. It's a limited pool of designers that make them, so there's not a lot of it out there, and they're pretty expensive and a lot of people really do love it. Next thing I picked up here was this cute little robe from a brand called Plum Pretty Sugar. I wasn't sure about this brand. The tag looked really interesting. It's kind of a longer tag. I'm always gonna take a closer look when I see kind of a unique tag, just because it's not something that they probably like picked out of a book and said, here's the logo. This would have been something that they kind of custom ordered. It is a size extra small. It's just a little cotton kimono robe. These look to be pretty inexpensive though, so maybe not a brand that I'd go and pick up, but always worth talking about something like this. It looks like resale prices on these are like 15 to 20 bucks. Let me know if you have had experience with this brand. You know, sometimes there's winners, sometimes there's losers, and I do like to talk about all of them with you, so hopefully you don't go and end up spending $6.99 on something like this. Either way, it's a really pretty print. I just thought that was so pretty. Short length, 100% cotton. You know, probably something that was bought for like a bridal party. But either way, always interesting to talk about. Next, okay, so I found these two right next to each other and they felt really nice. So these are bikini bottoms. There's two of them. And they're kind of low cut and they have these drawstrings. So if you've ever felt like a men's Speedo, like a men's like swim team swimsuit, they always have these little things. And I had never seen this on women's before. So sure enough, the company is called Jolyn. These are athletic swimsuits. I couldn't find any of the tops. I dug and dug and dug and I couldn't find any of them, but I'm interested to see how they do. This one is, it looks like this is a model Andy, and this one is a model Allie. Allie looks to be a little bit more full coverage. Andy is a little bit more cheeky, but think like beach volleyball, lifeguards, that is what these are made for. So interested to see how they do. It looks like sold comps are like $15 to $20 and it looks like they retail like $40 to $45. Oh, next up here, this is a little Lululemon t-shirt. Now this is definitely an older model t-shirt. It's that classic Lululemon cotton, Pima cotton jersey. My favorite t-shirt in the whole world is made out of this. You could give me a blindfold and a pile of 100 t-shirts and I would find this in it. It's just such a distinct feel. So this is older style. It's a slimmer fit and the sleeves are a little bit longer and a little bit slimmer fit. It's kind of a unique fit here. And it's got the seam down the back with the logo here on the hip. So I'm gonna have to find what this style name is, but the one thing I will tell you with Lululemon is to never, ever discount older styles because people love them. Like my favorite t-shirt is called the All Yours t-shirt, and if they ever have the
absolute audacity
to discontinue that, which they better not, I will be seeking for those pieces on the secondhand market. Without a doubt, it's like the perfect black t-shirt. So never discount these older styles because there are people like me all over the place who fell in love with a specific style of t-shirt. You know, the sleeves hit them just right, the body fits them just right, you know, whatever the case may be, and they will seek them out secondhand. I've never had, especially the shirts, I've never had an older style shirt sit for more than like a month or two. but it sometimes does take a little bit of time to find the style name. I always lean on, there's like Lulu Fanatics. I think it's called Lulu Fanatics. I'll link it down below. They're just a really good place to kind of find style information for older styles. But anyway, always a great find. I'll probably see like 20 bucks on this, but no doubt it will go pretty quickly. Down to 2 more here, guys. This is a pajama top from Skims. Far be it for me to recommend a Kardashian brand, but I've got to say, guys, everything I've ever gotten from Skims has been so nice. It's expensive, yes, but they really do use like innovative fabrics. I've just been super impressed. This is a pajama top, and that is a logo jacquard. I'm not quite sure what this fabric is. It feels like satin. It's definitely got that like sheen, that slip to it, but it has drape like it's a tencel. Let's see. Viscose spandex, so there is a hint of stretch to it. They still make these. I want to say that they're still on the website. I could not find the bottom half in the bins. I tore that bin apart looking for it. So I will no doubt see probably 25 to 35 on this. I will pick pretty much anything in good condition from Skims. It does have a great resale value. And again, the quality is really there. Between Skims and Good American, their Fits Everybody collection is really nice. Like their basic t-shirts, tank tops, stuff like that. I mean, if you are looking for an investment piece in that world, I'd say buy with confidence. Like I said, I've never had anything that I wasn't pretty impressed with, but pretty good find in great condition. Definitely needs a bath and a steam. And finally, speaking of ModCloth, again, another piece that's kind of out of season, but I also don't think it necessarily matters. This is a size XL from ModCloth. That's the logo you're looking for. And this is just a little novelty print, kind of winter wonderland scene. You see, it's like a little snowy village. There's people ice skating, there's snowmen, there's little Santa Clauses, little cardinals. These kind of skirts, especially in size like XL and above, they sell very quickly for me. Now, I've never had one that was like holiday themed, so I'm interested to see like when this does end up selling. I've no doubt it'll sell relatively quick, but I'm also realistic in that it is a winter scene skirt. So ModCloth pieces are an always buy for me. There's pockets. So great condition, fully lined, cute little scene. I'll probably see like $35 on this. Good find here. But that is it, guys. That is the haul for today. A little bit of a smaller haul for me, but after the last 2 weeks, I needed a little time to catch up. If you haven't watched those hauls yet, I'll have them linked down below. For sure, go and check them out when you've got a little bit of time. But for all of you numbers nerds out there, I do have 30 pieces this week. Retail value on everything that we picked is somewhere in the vicinity of $4,000. And I think I've got like $800 to $900 in sales here. And after fees and whatnot, that'll bring me to a profit of like $650 to $700. And with a $30 investment, that brings my return on investment to 23x, just a little bit higher than that. So a pretty good day all in all. Lots of great pieces. I love these kind of days where I'm finding all kinds of new BOLO brands for me and being able to share them with you. Nothing makes me happier than kind of being able to sniff out the quality that's in there and making sure that none of us let it slip through the cracks. But guys, thank you so much for hanging with me while I go through these hauls. I always have so much fun sharing everything with you. If you had fun, please consider leaving a like on this video. Of course, do not forget to subscribe. I would love to have you along on this journey. But without further ado, guys, have the most beautiful week.